Let's hear the conversation now, because I ain't hear it. So let's go.
An author, a radio personality, and he has a strong following on YouTube. By the way, I think it's escalated over 3.4 million subscribers, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's a former college football player and former police officer who is the host of the hit show, The Officer Tatum. Please welcome Brandon Tatum, a.k.a. The Officer Tatum, to the Stephen A. Smith Show. What's up, big time? How are you, man? Nice to finally meet you. How's everything?
I'm blessed, man. God is good, man, and I'm really excited to talk to you.
Man, please, the pleasure is all mine, man. Even though, listen, there have been times when you've been critical of me. It's okay. I can take it. Damn it, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It's no big deal, right? But before I even get into this interview, I need you to tell me, why do people try you?
I mean, there is some black liberals who's actually waking up and be like, you know what? Maybe I do need to listen to my conservative brother instead of just try to say he's an Uncle Tom or tap dance. Maybe I actually do need to listen to them. Because the Liberal Party, we ain't been doing too good under, and especially under Biden. So I guess it is time to hear our black conservative brothers out. I know, right? About damn time, and thank you for the ear.
You physically. I mean, I just pointed out that you're a football player, former football player, police officer, but yet you got some fools out there that be trying you physically. I could understand if they came at me. What the hell are they thinking about coming at you?
Boy.
Oh man, you know, Steve.
God, that boy Tatum built like a football player, like, and bro. And another reality, this man was a whole football player.
Really, to be honest, in public, people never say anything to me. You know, a couple non-binaries on the campus of UC Davis decided to lose their mind, which I bet they will never do that again. However, most people, when they see me in person, they realize I'm 6'2", 280. They don't want nothing to do with me.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Let me get to more.
Damn, he's 6'2". Damn, bro, my height. Interesting. Wait, how much? God, damn.
For most people, when they see me in person, they realize I'm 6'2", 280. They don't want nothing to do with me.
Oh yeah, bro got 100 pounds on me. Shit, I'm like, I'm 6'2", 180. God damn. God damn.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Let me get to a more civilized situation right now, because obviously you heard me a little bit earlier talking about D.L. Hughley. And before I ask you about him, I wanted to make sure you heard exactly what he had to say in the aftermath of Saquon Barkley, the star running back for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, electing to go to the White House, and what D.L. Hughley had to say about him or anybody else who happens to be black that would think about going to the White House. Listen to D.L. Hughley talking on TMZ earlier. Check this out.
14 players said, I'm going to boycott this. Whose side are you on?
I think that it's not just political. What Donald Trump has done and is doing to black history is unsavory and
unsavory. What is he doing to black history besides taking out critical race theory and stopping these teachers from pretty much victimizing us or making us have a victim mindset through teaching us our history? That's the problem. It's like, bro, you teach these the black youth that hate the white man, feel bad and feel like the white man should give them reparations and pretty much kiss their ass. That's the problem with critical race theory, because ain't nobody doing that for us. Okay, black people, ain't nobody gonna kiss your ass because you're black or because of slavery. Get over it. Prosper past it. Like our ancestors have, like Black Wall Street, like back in the day. I mean, they wasn't bitching about slavery the way we do. Like, let's be real. Seems like the more you bitch about slavery in the black community, like, I guess the less fortunate you are. So stop making yourself a victim and drop the bullshit today. And realize that you have the same opportunity as, well, the white man next to you, the Asian man, and the Indian man. You just got to go out there and get it, my brother.
It's undeniable. Donald Trump is deliberately trying to erase black people's history for whatever quest. He's elevating Christopher Columbus again. So he deliberately is doing things to black people that isn't just political. And any black man that does it is going to obviously catch some level of heat. When a black person does it, when it's a black person, I can always tell what kind of black person. I can always tell what they are.
Whoa, hold on, G. Hold on there. Like I said, I don't like this ideology because, like I said, it's one, it teaches hatred. That is why I don't like it. It teaches hatred of white people, and I don't think these white people of today deserve that hate. Honestly, we should just get along with them. We should unite under one flag as Americans, understand that, and be cool. I mean, that's going to provide a way better reality for us, a way better future for us than just trying to bump heads with the white man for the next 20 years. Like, and then play the political bullshit with them. It's like, bruh, at a certain point, we got to understand that we are in this together, like it or not. If this country fails, yeah, guess what? They go out too. Remember that part. So we are in this as one. And we kind of got to get over the whole critical race theory BS. Yes, it happened. Okay. Who hasn't been put under slavery? Like, bruh, I'm not saying not sit there and not talk about it, sit there and just scrub our history, but there is a way to teach it without bringing a victim mindset to these children. I mean, there's a way to teach it just like this. Like, yeah, okay, cool. They had us in slavery. We found a way to get out. And there's a couple heroes in there. And then there are also some white people that are helped us out. So it's not unfair to it's unfair to just say we hate all white people, because there were ones that helped us out in there. And then we got together and they gave us the amendments and now we're good. Like, there's a way better way, okay, guys, than just saying white man evil, he put us in chains, or they're evil to this day and they owe us money. That got us nowhere. It got us nowhere.
He deliberately is doing things to black people that isn't just political. And any black man that does it is going to obviously catch some level of heat. When a black person does it, I can when it's a black person, I can always tell what kind of black person. I can always tell what they are.
Whoa. Wait, what does that mean, Dio?
Saquon Barkley, he had a girlfriend that threw around the N-word a lot and said she wasn't a gold digger and she wasn't messing with no broke N-words. He looks like that kind of guy that is indifferent to what black people go through. Oh, wow. It's just true. And I think
I mean, look, all right, no, because since Seth had a personal moment, let me have one. Dog, I grew up in the project of Nashville, and then moved to the project of New York, then finally came to a nice place in Columbus, Ohio. Trust me, I come from a worse background than a lot of these black liberals, and I still found conservatism. I still found a better way. I still dropped the victim mindset. So when you guys see us and you think, oh, well, you must date white women, bro. I mean, I do like white women, I will admit. Like, but I never dated them. Never. I've only dated black women. Like, bro, I don't hate white women. They're great people. But I'm just like black women, just like how a lot of white dudes feel this about black women. Like, they don't hate them. They just like they women. That's a lot of races, but it does seem like only in our group we get offended over that. So here's the thing. And even if a black man does date a white girl, it doesn't mean that he's not for the black community. He just likes a white girl. Like, y'all overcomplicate shit for no reason.
I've noticed that to be consistent with a lot of black people who show up. They have a shoe booty affect to them.
You heard what D.L. Hughley had to say right there. You are a Republican. You have been on the record. You are a supporter of Donald Trump. You heard what D.L. Hughley had to say. Your thoughts?
First of all, D.L. Hughley has been historically one of my favorite comedians. I love D.L. Hughley, but I don't know what he done. I don't know, he bumped his head or something, but he has lost his mind. And it's a shame that he has to go down the path of racism. You know, I've met Donald Trump several times. I've been to the White House.
I mean, bro, when you really look at conservative values, it's like, what's wrong with them? And then when you honestly hear these guys on the other side, I mean, like, bro, it kind of sounds like, and I'm gonna be real with you, the white people on the conservative side are kind of being like, all right, bro, let's work something out. And then the liberals are here pretty much saying, oh, you better stay here or you're not one of your kind. How you think your free thinking black man is going to think? Like, really think about that. You're trying to hold us hostage through our skin color from listening to the other side. What you think we're going to do?
Several times. Actually, Donald Trump met my dad at a UFC fight not too long ago, and my dad didn't even vote for Trump. So Donald Trump isn't what they're projecting him to be, but also the racism that exists.
In facts, bro, my dad didn't even vote for Trump. Like, bro, I had one of my dads on here, and he's a definite liberal. I mean, I damn near think he's vote blue no matter who, but still love him, still call him, still check up on him. He's my dad after all. I don't hate him for the way he thinks. He don't hate me for the way I think. And I actually appreciate that about him because, God forbid he was one of those liberals. That would suck. I'll be real with you.
Amongst black people. Why is D.L. Hughley, who claimed to be a pro-black man, hating and talking down on another brother? Just because you decide to love a woman that happen to not be black don't mean you're a sellout and you don't understand the black struggle. And Saquon Barkley, who's a rational adult who wants to play football.
It's like, bruh, like I said, I came from the projects, and I would be damned if I let somebody tell me that I had, oh, well, that don't matter because you dated a white woman, bro. I'll slap that dude in the face. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That would ultimately feel disrespectful to me because I'm like, dog, I've been through everything you've been through and worse. And worse. Like, dog, you ain't never had to wake up to the rats and roaches, but you're telling me I don't know about the struggle? Like, son of a bitch. Oh, what? Because I dated a white woman? That's even crazier. Now, said has never dated a white woman. I do love my black queens only, even though some of y'all are a bit wild, but still love y'all. But still, though, to sit there and kind of discredit somebody's, well, coming up just because of who they date or marry is wild. Like I said, just because you date white girls does not mean that you're not for the black community. I'm gonna be real with you guys. You sound ridiculous when you come with that argument, and you leave out a lot of good black men out of the community who really want to help
and enjoy his life and don't have to have a problem with Donald Trump because everybody said he does. I mean, he went and golfed with Donald Trump. He was flying on a, Marine One with Donald Trump. What's the problem with that? Unless you're a racist and you hate white people, you shouldn't have a problem with a brother loving a white person or a brother supporting a president just for the sake of him being the commander in chief. And D.L. Hughley just, he bothers me so much because I just don't like what he says about black people, generally speaking, but I can go on forever about it.
What did you think about what he had to say as it pertained to Trump and the administration essentially trying to eradicate black history? Basically, whatever initiatives, executive orders, there's a lot of things that we can point to that people have believed that's what he was doing. What do you make of that and what Trump has done since he's been in office?
I think it's absolutely asinine to suggest that Donald Trump is trying to erase black history. That's the craziest thing ever. D.L. Hughley don't have any evidence whatsoever to make a claim like that, other than having Trump derangement syndrome. Donald Trump in his first term, he gave permanent funding to HBCUs. Donald Trump literally had every HBCU president in the Oval Office talking to them about things that they can do to improve black universities. Donald Trump, operations zones, I mean, you can go down.
Bro, Donald Trump has been an advocate for improving black education for a while. Even when him and Ice Cube were discussing the platinum plan and all that good stuff, bro, if you're a real one, you understand. I ain't gonna lie. This man Trump has honestly been kind of speaking out for the black man for a minute, especially when on the education economic side, opportunity zones and all that good stuff. Like, yeah, bro's been looking out more than the Democrats have. And honestly, that's what irritates me because I'm just like, hold on. We're talking about a group of people that say they have our best interest at hand, but when they get in office, they don't do shit for us. Like from Obama to Biden. Like, bruh. But then this man comes in here, don't even really campaign on helping black Americans, but end up helping black Americans. Like, bruh, what? It really effed my head up. I will be real with you.
And I listen all the things that he's done that help black in the black community. The people that have been a part of his administration. Is Byron Donalds a sellout? Is Clarence Thomas a sellout? I mean, all of these other
some people would say Clarence Thomas, though. Officer Tatum, some people would say that about Clarence Thomas. They do feel like Clarence Thomas has been one of those individuals that has no interest in pushing forth black causes at all. That has been said about him for decades.
Because, bro, when you push these black causes, most of it just sound like victim mentality bullshit. I'll be real with you. That's why. That is why. It's like it don't even sound like we're being like revolutionists no more. It just sounds like we're being complainers and crybabies, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, we're not even speaking for change. We're like, some of these guys are really like speaking for asking the white man for money. He's like, bro, well, where's the masculinity in that? Where's the power in that? But they're oh so bad, they're oh so evil, but you're asking these people for money? Like, make that make sense, guys. So yeah, let's drop the bullshit. It's better to just work with these guys. Not like, bro, and trust me, they don't hate us the way y'all frame they do.
Or Donald Trump came along. And it's because of black people who inherently are in their consciousness are racist individuals, because they don't like Clarence Thomas because he got a white woman. But let me tell you this. I bet you $1 million you won't see D.L. Hughley talking about Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver that did the fake hoax with the noose. You'd never hear him talk about him because he's willing to say all this activist stuff that he's not really believing in. But he got a white woman. Ooh. So D.L. Hughley is inconsistent with his projection against black people. I'll just say this. Black people cannot exist in America isolating themselves in a cocoon with other black people who, to be honest.
No. Wait, D.L. Hughley? No, he has D.L. Hughley got a black wife. This is definitely a black woman. Did you really say that?
white woman. So the driver that did the fake hoax with the noose, you'd never hear him talk about him because he's willing to say all this activist stuff that he's not really believing in. But he got a white woman. So D.L. Hughley is inconsistent with his projection against black people. I'll just say this. Black people cannot exist in America isolating themselves in a cocoon with other black people who, to be.
Yeah, that's incorrect, Officer Tatum. I don't know where he got that from, but no, D.L. Hughley's been married to a black woman for about 38 years. 38 years. So nah, he's not that one you're talking about, G. Trust me. Usually, that's what I'm saying. Usually people who talk like D.L. Hughley kind of date like myself, like, you know, with their own kind only. Like, yeah, I get it. So, but has he ever had a white woman or something? Like, cause like I said, I don't see nothing with a white wife pulling up when it comes to D.L. Hughley. Let me see here. D.L. Hughley, UFC 20. Yeah, nope.
Honest, hate on them more than white people do. And D.L. Hughley is a perfect example of it. Why won't you uplift your brothers? Why won't you celebrate the brothers that got invited to the White House that won the Super Bowl? Why wouldn't you? Because you just don't like Donald Trump. And I guarantee you'll never.
Hey, shout out to my man Fox Chase. He's calling y'all out, man. He says, any liberal want to argue on the call-in with me? Why not? Hey, state the topic. I'll go ahead and moderate the debate. I got y'all on that one. All right, guys, just let me know what's going on.
Hear D.L. Hughley say anything negative about Donald Trump before he became a Republican president. That's why I don't have no respect for these dudes. And then I'll tell you this, Stephen A., they don't never talk about the thugs in our community.
Nope.
They never.
I mean, they knew. I'll give them that one. Like, they don't really talk on the real black problems or the real, like, yeah, they don't talk about the real problems in the black community, like gang violence. What you mean? They hang out with these gangsters. They support them in every way, shape, and form. So they don't care. It's like, bro, y'all only want to care when what? Trump's in power. Now all of a sudden we got to galvanize behind something. Like, no, why don't we galvanize behind our education problem? Why would we galvanize behind our economic problems? Like, galvanize behind these gangs, this gang problem that's persistent in our community. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, honestly, we're focusing on the wrong damn thing. Like, bro, just like Fox Chase's video said, bro, the black community got 99 problems and Trump ain't one, guys. I'll tell you that right now.
Never talk about the problems. I mean, consistently talk about the ailments that are in our community. Talk about, you know, abortions that go on in our community higher than anywhere else in the country. They don't talk about the murder rate in our community that's higher than anywhere else in the country. Nope. They don't talk about the education system that has failed black people. They don't talk about these politicians that put illegal aliens before they put black people. Look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Billions of dollars spent on illegal aliens, won't spend a dime on black folks. Look at Barack Obama. He came from Chicago. Can't name me not one policy that benefited black folks.
Nope.
Especially not in Chicago.
I mean, bro, especially not in Chicago. Bro, he let Chirac go down. Bro, Chirac happened under Chicago. The most effed up generation of black youth, like, bro, ever in Chicago. No offense to Chicago, but I'm sorry, but y'all got a effed up little culture going on there in Chicago, okay? Now, it has its benefits, of course, but, like, talking on the gang part, yeah, it's the worst in the country, my guys. Yeah, I need to fix that.
Chicago. So D.L. Hughley won't talk about these brothers.
That Obama was governor of that state and did nothing about it, just let it go. So you're hearing about, I don't know, like thousands of black youth dying every day to gang violence. You're the governor of this place. You did nothing, but then went on to become president. Nobody brought that up. I mean, crazy.
They won't talk about these hoodwinking snake oil salesmen that are acting like they're activists. For instance, Reverend Al Sharpton. These people are the most disingenuous individuals I've ever seen in my life. They can go on a boycott of Target, not realizing that there's black people that got product in Target. So why would you boycott Target and in the black communities where black people work at the Target? How about we stop wasting energy being victims and start supporting black people? Have a march to support black businesses, where we spend our money in black businesses, where we put our money in black banks, where we send our kids to black universities. Stephen A., you know why you would never see them do that? Because they wouldn't dare put their money in a black bank. They wouldn't dare send their kids to black universities. And D.L. Hughley and the rest of them won't dare live in a black neighborhood.
Nope.
Ask Stephen A. where he live at. I guarantee you, we look it up, he live around a number of white folks. Mm-hmm. So this is why I don't believe.
Damn. I mean, the only place, and let's be real, if you black liberals really want to hold up to y'all status, I mean, hold up to that, oh, what you mean? I'm in the black community all day, every day. Well, then move to Atlanta and you could be around all the rich black people and then it makes sense. But then y'all won't even do that, huh? So y'all say y'all hate white people, but you'll live around them all day though. I mean, you know what's up in the inner cities. Why don't you move around there and try to bring some real change? Oh, because you know that they'll rob your ass. I know, right? It's a little dangerous around there, so you keep away from there. But what you mean? Those are your people, right? Right?
These people and why they're detrimental to black people in America.
I got to take a break to pay a bill. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more in just a second. What I would challenge you on, Officer Tatum, and I respect the hell out of you and where you're coming from. I don't agree with everything you said, but let me say this. A lot of the litany of things that you labeled in terms of problems that exist in our community, problems that exist in our country, you're absolutely right on point. I'm not here to challenge that at all. I love the last part that you made about how they were so focused on immigration. They were so focused on woke culture and cancel culture that they forgot about black folks along the way, the folks on the left. I totally agree with you about that. I've been decrying that for the longest time. And when I think about D.L. Hughley, I've said this before you came on the show today. I'm like, listen, you can't sit up there and talk mess about somebody, all right, and then expect them to do business with you. You've got to be willing to compromise. You got to be willing to cross the aisle, figuratively speaking, in his case, because he's not a politician. You got to be willing to work. You can't be about denigrating the president for every damn thing. Like there isn't a
I mean, like the black liberals, bro. It can't just be about, oh, F Trump no more. You actually got to come to us and talk to us because let's be real. Yeah, there's over 75 million Americans that agree with us. I mean, the president won. So y'all at least got to come down and have this conversation with us now since you lost so horribly. You even lost some. I mean, I'm talking about the black community. Y'all lost some of us. Lost some of your own kind. So when y'all gonna finally sit down and have a conversation with us instead of try to call us, Uncle Tom, bootlickers, etc. Like, come on now.
Single thing that he says that he doesn't do right. Everything he says isn't wrong. Everything he says isn't off kilter. Some things he said he does have a point about. There's no question about that. I push back on you when you try to lay, like somebody like a D.L. Hughley, when he pointed out how Trump challenged his nationality, whether he was born in the United States or not. Let's not forget that. When we point to issues, when we talk about...
But bruh, like, come on, guys. If you follow the story, though, it don't make sense. Like, then where was he born? Because, like, the record shows that he moved. He lived in Indonesia before he moved to Hawaii. So then what the hell was he doing in Indonesia being like, what was this guy's? Mr. Satoru. His name was, like, Obama was Barry Satoru at the time because her mom married some Indonesian oil tycoon with the last name Satoru. Like, she first was in Kenya, where Barack Obama's dad is. So what? She didn't have the man until she went to Hawaii 5 years later? I mean, not 5 years later, but 13, 14 years later? Like, I don't know. Let's not even get into that. Let's not get into that right now. It's a bit perplexing. I don't know. It doesn't line up right.
About how, what have they done for us or what hasn't been done for us? When we see a guy like Clarence Thomas and others, you speak against affirmative action, but you benefited from affirmative action. When we hear Trump come into office and literally a plane collides with a helicopter and he's blaming DEI with no evidence whatsoever, and they're questioning the meritocracy of something or the merits of something, and all of those kind of things are taking place, we do find ourselves. And I think D.L. Hughley is absolutely entitled to find himself uncomfortable with some of the things that he is seeing. You see, he might have gone too far by saying what he said. I think he did. Anybody that goes to the White House, anybody that communicates with Trump, I think that's beyond the pale. But him being skeptical, him questioning some things, I don't think that's off kilter, Officer Tatum. I don't.
Well, Stephen A., if his skepticism was genuine, I agree. My father has skepticism of Donald Trump and things that are genuine. My dad is a good man. And he's acting in good faith and he don't hate white people.
But how do you know it's not genuine?
I think he has a big issue and he hate white people deep down in his soul. And that's why everything white people do, he has a criticism. When white people get in a shooting against black people, he has a criticism. I guarantee you I haven't seen his take on the kid in Dallas that stabbed a young man in the heart. I guarantee he took the side of the black man. Let's go back to the birther thing. The birther is
like, bro, if you're being real and you don't bring race into it, yes, Carmelo Anthony was in the complete wrong for stabbing Austin McCaff. He shouldn't even have had a knife on the premises. Bro shouldn't even have been reaching for a knife. Like, it don't make sense. On school grounds, of course. So it's like, what's going on with that? I don't know how they're gonna frame that into well, honestly, I don't know how they're gonna frame it into self-defense. It's murder. I'm gonna be real with you guys. He unalived that kid. And I mean, maybe he did it in a rash action of emotion because he did ask him, is he okay? He's okay. But I'm like, dog, what do you expect to happen when you stab a kid directly in the chest?
Argument about the validity of Barack Obama's birth certificate started with Hillary Clinton. And there was a whole bunch of other politicians outside of Donald Trump. Donald Trump piggybacked off of things that people had already established. D.L. Hughley, I mean, we can go down a list of all the other things that you said. His skepticism of policy. What policy is he referring to that Donald Trump?
Hey, shout out to Green Bean. He says S.E.T and Tatum are base, man. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to my man Green Bean. Shout out to all the supporters, man. Appreciate it. All right, man, let's keep it going.
Is doing this against black people. Last time I checked, building the economy helps build black people's pocketbook. Last time I checked, when you're talking about immigration and getting all these illegal aliens out of our country, spending taxpayer dollar, black people pay taxes. That helps and benefits the black community. When you think about Clarence Thomas, this is a black man who worked his way up and decided that we do not need affirmative action because it discriminates against all people. It discriminates against black people because there are black people who are qualified that are not necessarily associated with this affirmative action thing. You know, they may have a family, they come from a good family, a good household, and they're not associated with getting a handout because their parents did the work and their parents put them in a position where they're not considered lower income or people who benefit from affirmative action. But also, it's time for us to move forward. We can't keep living in the past, Stephen A. I mean, my God, I just saw a movie that came out called Sinners. I haven't watched it, but the preview of the movie and some of the dialogue around the movie is another movie projecting black people in the 1930s, and it's the white man against the black man. When are we going to stop this mess? You know, the Underground Railroad's proliferation and success didn't come from just black people. There were good white people who never owned slaves, who never had nothing to do with slavery, who risked their lives to help Harriet Tubman get black people to freedom.
Their lives and their freedoms. White people risking life and freedom just to help a black woman, just to help a black person, a black man, don't matter, just to help a slave because they don't believe in it. It's like not everybody fell for the mind control of slavery. And then we don't say the mind control of slavery because, believe it or not, back then, psychologists was coming up with a way to make white people comfortable with slavery. Yeah, I know. So this is honestly, and I'm not trying to give those guys an excuse, but yeah, there were literally psychologists. That's why I don't trust psychology today no more. That was teaching white people like, oh no, you shouldn't feel bad about these guys being slaves, and the slaves shouldn't feel bad about being slaves. Yeah, what you mean? It's like, what you mean? You're crazy. Bro, they literally told white people you're crazy if you think slavery's wrong. Literally telling white people that. This was psychologists back in those days. Like, so this is one of the reasons why I don't trust psychology, because it definitely perpetuated racism. But yeah, look at something called trapomania. It was like literally the belief that a slave is insane for wanting to run away from his master.
History of this country, there has always been good white people that have done positive things to affect change that benefited black people. Now, there have been racists, there have been knuckleheads, but generally speaking, in the totality of circumstances in the American experience, there's nowhere else on planet Earth black people can go and benefit and prosper and have a level of success than in the United States of America. And there are so many corporations and so many lenders and investors that are white that have propelled black people to a level of success that we've never seen before. I mean, Stephen A., your contract is very handsome. And I don't think that they're treating you improperly because you black. It's because you earned it.
No,
it's because you went years of being consistent,
right,
speaking your mind, taking the heat, and then you're getting paid.
My response to that would be, that's true. I'm very, very fortunate, but I went through a lot before I got to this point, and it took me significantly longer to achieve what others who look differently than me might have captured sooner. But I do get your point, because I don't.
And like I said, that's like the rich black man pretty much just like, it's like a sellout point. And every time I say it's like a sellout point, because it's like, dog, you're ignoring the fact that, bro, yeah, no, you did better than those white guys. You did better than the Hispanic guys. You were top of your game. People wanted to listen to you more than them. Like, no, bro, it was you. And that's why you got it. Like, and don't sit there and say, well, maybe if I was white, I would have got there sooner. No, dog, no, because you wouldn't have been you and you wouldn't have got there. Maybe if I was Hispanic, I would have got there. No, you were you. That's why you're here. It's like a lot of people be forgetting that. You're Stephen A. Smith, G. Just like, bro, I would never sit there and say, well, maybe if I was my name was S.E.T and I was white, I'd be at 1,000,000 subscribers. No, because I wouldn't be me.
Sit there and look back, and I don't view every white person as racist, and I don't view every policy as racist. A matter of fact, one of the reasons I've never felt that way about Donald Trump in terms of racism, Nazis, and all of this other stuff is because I knew him before he ran for office, and I knew a whole bunch of us that knew him before he ran for office, and we never said that stuff about him. Neither did Oprah, neither did a whole bunch of other people. There was a whole bunch of people communicating with Donald Trump, befriending Donald Trump, socializing with Donald Trump, and we never had any problem. So I view him as somebody that's catering to a constituency because he knew he wasn't going to win the left. He wasn't going to win the Democratic nomination because that was going to Hillary Rodham Clinton. They would have made sure he didn't win that. So he went the other side, and he, being a businessman, is willing to negotiate his way through anything. That's how I view him, but that's just me. I want to get to you in this regard, Officer Tatum. You talked about your dad and how he didn't vote for Donald Trump. Are you a lifelong Republican, or are you somebody that was a Democrat that transitioned to being a Republican because of the things that you've articulated since you've been sitting on this show?
That's a great question. You know, in America, and I say this is unfortunate in part, that when you black, you come out a Democrat. Because when I was young, we didn't even vote. We weren't even deep into politics. But you just knew if you were going to vote, you voted for a Democrat, because the Democrat was for the black people and the Republicans were racist white people. That's what it was.
That's true.
And then when I grew up, I started being more informed and started looking at policy positions as a Christian man. I say, well, wait a minute. I don't think I agree with nothing that the Democrats are doing. I don't think I agree with any of it.
No.
I believe in God. I believe putting God first. I believe in marriages between a man and a woman. I mean, you go down a list. I don't want to pay no crazy amount of taxes.
Bruh, that's what I'm saying. It's like, hold on, though. Oh, yeah, we're going to tax the rich, guys. It's like, and you know how that kind of sounds racist? It kind of damn like libs. You're kind of telling black people, yeah, we should tax the rich. Don't worry, you'll never be rich yourself. So, yeah, let's tax them. Let's tag along and tax them. Like, bro, what? Like I said, it's like sometimes you got to read in between the lines of what these liberals say, and you kind of see the hints of racism in it.
Just for them to be throwing your money like they at a strip club. So I'm saying, when I look at the policy position, not the emotional manipulation of empathy that I see from the Democrat side and from D.L. Hughley and others, I look at policy and I say, well, the policy of lowering taxes makes sense. Thomas Sowell, the great economist, have already articulated, any economist will tell you, when they lower the taxes and taxes seem to be reasonable to the American people, they pay more into the treasury. When you raise the taxes, people try to evade taxes. Therefore, there's lower money coming into the treasury.
Exactly. It's like they either go to a different state or they go out the country altogether and they take their business and their jobs with them. It's like, but that's something that I don't know, the libs just can't understand about how these people move. It's like, you raise taxes, you will lose jobs, especially you raise corporate tax. True, you lose jobs, you lose people in your state. But if the whole country does it, just attack the rich, we won't have no rich in here, and we damn near won't have no jobs, and it'll be all the left's fault.
United States of America. So I'm for lowering taxes. I'm for immigration policy. It don't make no sense whatsoever that people have to wait 10 years to come over here. And I think it's prejudice against some of the African nations because they don't get to just walk through the southern border. People waiting in line forever, paying all this money, fleeing actual persecution. And they don't have an opportunity because we have 20 million illegal aliens coming from the southern border right into our country. And D.L. Hughley didn't say a thing that I've seen about when Joe Biden was doing this and screwing black people over. Because where do they go, Stephen A? When these illegals come into America, they don't go to the foothills.
Yeah, they don't go into these white communities. They went straight into the black ones. Like, bruh. And y'all wonder why black people was so for immigration, because, bro, you guys dumped them on us. Like, you dumped them on us. You kind of effed up the job market. You effed up the social cohesion. And then you look at us like, hey, you want to do it again? Like, bruh, What? Nah, you turned me to a straight Trump supporter after that. Like, I was good on you guys. After you did that to the black community and then your access, did we want it again? I was like, yep, you guys are crazy. I'm out of here.
Going to the affluent neighborhoods. They're not welcome at Martha's Vineyard.
The Trump hat.
They are going and competing for low-skilled work in the inner cities. And therefore, they're putting black people out of employment because black people are working for citizen wages, which means that you're an American citizen, you have to work for minimum wage. These people coming over here, you can pay them under the table.
I'm popular for saying this, Officer Tatum. When white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. It's always worse for us than it is for them. I bring up that statement because of what you just said. When you think about open borders and illegal immigrants crossing the borders, ultimately you're alluding to it having a detrimental effect on the black community. Is that your way of saying that you felt the left did that to us, that they just disregarded black folks?
Stephen A., they've been giving us the middle finger since I can remember.
Right.
All the way back from the Ku Klux Klan. They have never supported black people whatsoever. They hoodwinked us into getting us on food stamps and getting us with government assistance, having us to abandon our own success.
Yep. I mean, bro, a lot of people just relied on the government and abandoned the families. Like I said, the reason why we were back better in Jim Crow days is because the government ain't put their hands on us. The government ain't try to flood us with government assistance. No, we had to rely on each other. Us and the black people had to rely on us in the black community, and we did better for it. And then as soon as black people want to start relying, relying on things that are outside of the community to fix what's inside of the community, that's when we just start perpetually failing as a community. Like, yeah, so instead of looking for the solution within our own community, we try to look outside of it. Like, bro, we're still looking for an economic solution for the white man by reparations. It's like, what? Like I said, we always look outside to try to fix what's within, and it never worked out for us. The only time we've been successful is when we just worked within the black community to fix our problems. And we could work with the white man too while working with just in ourselves. It's just that you guys, I'm gonna be real with you, some of the older generation just sold out for benefits. And they abandoned their families for benefits. And it's never been right since, because of these government benefits. That's why there's a lot of people who think it should go away because, well, let's be real, and it's going to sound cut when I say this, but yeah, well, these black women who survive all benefits going to have to find a man or something. And then we don't allow these people to get a way out, or, well, these mothers to get a way out through just being able to, leave a man and just ride off on government assistance, which leaves a poverty lifestyle for her and the child. But they forget to tell you that part, though.
We had our own bus line. We had our own schools. We had all this stuff. They tricked us into believing that the white man was the cure to our own issues.
Okay.
They tricked us. And then now look at us, Stephen A. They don't have to bid for our vote. They got our vote hook, line, and sinker.
Well,
so they're never going to do nothing for us.
That part I get. But when you say they did nothing, I'm thinking about civil rights legislation. I'm thinking about infrastructure. I'm thinking about Jim Crow.
I know with the civil rights, I know that man Lyndon B. Johnson says I'm gonna have y'all niggas voting Democrat for the next 100 years. And guess what? We fell in line, did we not? I mean, did we not just follow a white man's decree saying that he's gonna have these niggas voting for the next 100 years Democrat? I mean, and these are the black liberals are the same one that's thinking that they're going against the white man, but they're following the white man's directive. And that white man's name is Lyndon B. Johnson, because he told y'all niggas what y'all was gonna do. And y'all did it in lockstep. But y'all say, oh, we're against the white man and all that, but you're following the white man's directive and you don't even know it.
Laws, the eradication of it. I'm thinking about the access to capital that was given, that black folks had dated from the 60s and beyond that we didn't have before that. Are you saying that's the Republican?
That's Republican, unanimous Republican votes for the civil rights. The Democrats filibustered the Civil Rights Act, the longest filibuster in history until Booker just did what he did. But the Democrats were not in support of that. That was the Republican Party that was in support of that. And then let's go down the list. If these things were benefiting black people, why are we still complaining today? We've been voting for Democrats for, 40, 50 years now, lockstep, and we still complaining. We still don't have the rights that we want.
I mean, because, bro, they don't got to do nothing for us. They just got to paint a villain. That's all they got to do. And that's what I've noticed about the Democrats. It's like they don't really give us anything, but they paint a villain for us, an adversary for us to vote against instead of actually having policies for us. You know, in comes Donald Trump.
We still don't have equality in America. Racism is still plaguing our community, according to black people. So what have they been doing this whole time? And when you look at it, they have just secured our vote, and they don't have to do nothing for us. And this is what we've created, Stephen A. We've created an environment where we don't benefit from none of it because the Democrats don't have to work because they know I already got us. The Republicans don't need to work because they can win without us.
I've been saying that.
Black women voted at 90-some% for Democrats. Stephen A., Donald Trump won in a landslide. You give it 2 more election cycles. Illegal aliens and Hispanics are going to be the majority minority. Therefore, black people can vote 100% for Democrats, and they're not going to have any leverage in the political environment.
Nope.
And I'll tell you this, the Democrats, look at their platform.
I mean, that's literally what it is. They're taking away political leverage away from everybody, honestly. But I mean, due to the fact that we're only 13% of the damn near 12, our numbers are going down because of, well, abortions. But that's another lie. But yeah, I mean, due to the fact that we don't really have a big population, and then we're pretty much telling the government it's okay to just let in these illegals. Yeah, it's only killing our voting power. It's only killing our political pool. And the same Democratic Party that we're voting for is taking away the political power of the black community. And like I said, the black community just continues to vote for their political power to be stripped away from them bit by bit. I mean, sad, but here we are, right? Here we are.
They want women to have abortions. They don't support a marriage. They don't support God and things the way the Republicans do. What does that do to the inner city black communities or black communities in general? We're not getting married.
Nope.
Baby daddy, baby mama drama out of control.
Bruh.
We have an abortion more than anybody else. Obesity is out of control in the black community, which is one of the biggest plagues in the black community and the leading cause of death.
Oh God, bro. I see a lot of fat ass little kids, bro, and that should be irritating me. Like fat ass young black boys just looking at it, I'm just like, bro, how the fuck you get fat? You're a ball of energy. Like it should be impossible for you to get fat. But then again, and here's the thing though, and then they're fat, they act bad, they're not well behaved whatsoever. So not only have you gave this kid poor health, but you gave him poor mannerisms too. Like what? Like some of y'all black mothers need to be put on notice, bro. Some of y'all are, man. I'm just gonna say, bro. Some of the new generation here of these black mothers are y'all trash, bro. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Y'all kids is overweight, misbehaved. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. This is not good. This is not good. And the fact that some of y'all think that shit is cute is atrocious. So I will stand on that point and say that, yeah, there was a good amount of black mothers that have, and this is the new generation of black mothers that have failed their kids already through obesity and just bad mannerisms. And I don't understand why this is perpetuated, because it is. It is. I mean, y'all try to dress y'all kids up like little gangsters, and I do not understand that. I do not understand it. Then what y'all do with y'all black daughters, I damn near want to go upside y'all heads for, because you're trying to put them in these baby adult outfits. And I mean, it's crazy how you don't see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get you to sexualize your kid at a young age, and y'all falling for it. But no, yep, y'all got me on that one. Y'all got me on that one.
Which is hypertension and heart disease.
For that bullshit.
What has the Democrats done about it? Nothing. The Republicans with RFK is saying we need to make sure we have better foods. We need to make sure the SNAP program on prioritizing soda to our young people, which a lot of black people are on a SNAP program. That's the difference in policy position. But D.L. Hughley, he'll never talk about that. He will never talk about the fact that we've given our trust to the Democrat Party and they fix nothing.
I'm going to invite him on here. Officer. I'm going to make sure that I play these clips for you. I've met him over the years a couple of times. He's always been cool with me, even though he's been critical of me from time to time too. I'm a big boy. Like I said, I can take it. It's no big deal. But I'm definitely going to drop this education you dropping on him. I'm going to make sure that he sees this. But I would ask you this, based on everything that you're saying, if you were in front of D.L. Hughley right now, and you had an opportunity to talk to him about his position, about Trump, about the MAGA movement, about the GOP overall, particularly in comparison to what's going on with the left, other than what you just said, is there anything you would add?
Well, let me say this. I think that if D.L. Hughley was in front of me and we had a debate, it would be the most embarrassing time of his life.
Yeah.
He gets no pushback from the black community, none whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because bro, when these black liberals come up, they don't really have any well, honestly, no substance to their debate. All they tell you is that, oh, you're misinformed, you're a tap dancer, wah, wah, wah. I mean, the nicest way they hit you with is, oh, you're misinformed and you're uneducated. I mean, that's probably the nicest they get. After that, it's straight disrespect. But yeah, so they don't really have anything to back up their stances. That's why I'm saying, like, you get a black liberal on here and yeah, they'll get cooked every time, because y'all don't even know what y'all stand for, to be quite honest with you.
In the echo chamber. It's very simple. I would ask D.L. Hughley, what policy positions are you saying that Donald Trump has failed in, that the Democrats has prospered in? And this is what he will say to me. He will give me a talking point from CNN that's been debunked 20 years ago. He doesn't have substance. What I will add to DL is I would say, DL, do you really care about the black community, or are you living in an environment where you're worshiping your skin color? Because if you care about the black community versus worshiping a skin color, why are you not out here advocating for things that will help the black community, like school choice, which is a Republican talking point? Democrats don't stand on school choice. And I think young black people, even like my son, should have the choice to go to the school that I think is best for him. I mean, we can go down the list. Illegal immigration. I guarantee you DL will be arguing me that it's wrong that Donald Trump deporting all these Mexican people.
Bruh.
He didn't say nothing when Barack Obama did it, and Barack Obama was the deporter in chief. He deported more people than anybody in history. So I think that every single point that D.L. Hughley has ever made that I have listened to him make is always incorrect. He probably thinks that Shador not going in the first round is racism, because he has this vitriolic behavior against white folks. I don't think that had nothing to do with race. He think the kid who stabbed the young man in Dallas in the chest is that they're railroading him and it's racism. Well, I was a police officer. I know what probable cause looked like, and I read the law in Texas, and it was a reasonable charging of that young man who killed another person. So he would never pick the side to support anything white, even if the white person is right.
Is that the way you feel about any black person that has an issue with what we're seeing from Trump, its administration, or the GOP? Or is that message especially for D.L. Hughley because you're familiar, or you say you're familiar with some of the things he said?
It's specifically for D.L. Hughley and D.L. Hughley likes, because there are people who are educated that just have a difference of opinion, or they have criticisms. Right. I don't agree with everything Trump does. I've been on his head. His last term, I was all over his head, and people wanted to unfollow me. I don't. These people ain't paying my paycheck, so I don't need to do anything for anybody. I'm just here to tell the truth and keep it real. Man. And Donald Trump has done things that have been questionable, in my personal opinion, with the vaccines and all of the such. Tariffs as well. To tariffs, I agree with Trump. I believe in Trump, and in good faith, I think he's doing the right thing. But if a person came out and said, look, I'm concerned about tariffs. I own a company, Stephen A. We partner and do things overseas, and it's going to hit us. But I do believe that Trump is doing the right thing for a good reason, and I'm optimistic about the outcome. But if D.L. Hughley came on and said, I think the tariffs may be a bad idea, citing these reasons, I'd say, okay. But D.L. Hughley, you can say, he says, Donald Trump is removing black existence from society, which is the most asinine thing ever. And you would ask him, what are you
Bro, you try to ask these people to back up how Donald Trump's a racist, and they bring you debunked stories. So it is a bit crazy how these guys operate. And I kind of like how these guys stop bringing up these Donald Trump racist stories, because back in the day and during the election, I mean, I actually had to go in there and investigate this stuff. And it proved out to be a whole bunch of lies every single time.
Referring to, he'll say books being removed. If you go to Florida and you look at the 120 plus variation of books that have been removed from the Florida school system, it was removed because of pornography. It's because they're showing nudity and talking about sex with elementary students. But D.L. Hughley don't do any.
And there's nothing wrong with getting books up out of there like that. I mean, bro, a lot of people would agree that they would not want pornography in their kids' library. So the fact that the left try to just skirt it in there, and we're having a whole Supreme Court case about this. And maybe I should bring this up, because the books that they were trying to say was safe for kids, guys. Yeah, Yeah, they were not. They were not. And they were pretty much peddling LGBTQ. Well, I mean, honestly, they were just kind of spreading the ideology with kids. With kids. I mean, books like what? The Prince in the Night? Yeah, look it up. It's an actual book that they have in kids' libraries, and they frame it like a children's book, and it's about a gay couple, a male gay couple. Like, are you guys serious? Like, our kids are not doing math too well, they're not reading too well, but oh man, they sure do know about gay rights, huh?
Research. He won't look up anything. He just know that he has to oppose Donald Trump at every end. And here's another thing, Stephen A. If you ask him if he come on your show, what's something that Donald Trump has done that have been positive? He will not have nothing to say because he can't say it, because the people, I call them the people of the melanin, will eat him alive.
Yep.
If he decided to go to the White House and say, look, I'm gonna set the record straight with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump say, DL, come to the White House, let's talk. DL won't go to the White House. Even if he could talk to Trump and even if he could confront Trump face to face, he won't do it because he know he ain't researched nothing. And
yeah, I know, right? He know he ain't researched nothing. He don't want to look like an idiot. And that's how a lot of these black liberals look. I mean, trust me, a lot of black liberals think they can even like debate me. And I'm just like, look, dog, I love you. You're my brother. Trust me. It's best we have this conversation privately and not just do you dirty. Trust me, I'd rather do it privately and we can just discuss ideas there. Maybe we can come to an agreement or agree to disagree. But when y'all want to do this publicly, trust me, I get a bit belligerent and I'm just not here for it.
And the black people will eat him alive. Stephen A., you've experienced it. You say one thing that sounds conservative and they eating you alive. And now you're a Republican and now you simply for Trump. Saquon Barkley gets invited to the White House like every other person who wins the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not the first time in history of Super Bowl champs have been to the White House.
Right.
And I'll say this, when Biden was in office, who opted out? I don't know if any Republican opted out when Biden was in office. And I tell you what, people on the Kansas City Chiefs, there's a bunch of them that are Trump supporters.
Right.
That's because we don't have that vitriolic behavior against Joe Biden, even though he was way worse than anything Trump could have ever done. But I'll say this, Stephen A., and then I'll shut up. I want to see us unite. I want to see us stop arguing and bickering over stupid stuff. Let's be informed. I would love to sit down with D.L. Hughley if he wanted to act in good faith. We need to have a better country. We need safety for everybody, not just black people. And because I have a blended family and a lot of people that work for me and that I know, investors, business partners, mentors, are of every color. We should be focused on saying, how do we all win together? Not running around picking tribes and saying, I'm only for the black people and I'm only for these people. That's never going to work in society. Nope. It's never going to work.
I mean, bro, it's not going to work in America. It's like, dog, we're a melting pot. You can't just be, I'm only for the blacks. I'm only for the whites. I'm only for the Hispanic. You can't. We're a melting pot. It doesn't even make sense to try to do so. We should all just unite under this flag. Those who are born here are naturalized. And that should be that. We should see each other as Americans. Just that alone. Because, sorry, guys, but we're in too much of a melting pot to have any type of tribalism. And I'm be real with you, it's quite dangerous. It would be dangerous. Like, we kind of see what it gets to. I mean, we got the black supremacists, white supremacists, and freaking Hispanic gangs. So, trust me, this tribalism does not work out. It's best we just unite as Americans, be law-abiding citizens, and work with each other. I mean, it's better than this whole tribalism where, oh, I'm only with the black group. I don't deal with the white man and what? And then white people become real white nationals. Then, I mean, then you guys are going to bitch even more. I just don't get it. And then here's the thing, though. It's like black people can be tribal. Hispanics can be tribal. Like, but white people can't. It's a bit weird how, we think out here. Well, at least the liberals think.
And I hope that black people wake up to this. We cannot isolate ourselves in a cocoon and think we're going to live in the inner city community and somehow show the white man. That's not America. That never will be America.
Let me say this to you before I let you go. There's a couple of things. Number one, I appreciate that message because I co-sign with you 1,000% on it. We do need to come together. And my definition of coming together is being able to have a conversation and not looking at one another with vitriol because we disagree. Let's butt heads and see whose ideas are better. In other words, knowing policy, knowing objectives and agendas, and coming to a conclusion as to whether what's right and what's wrong, and in our mindset, what would be the reason for that? I've heard Officer Tatum and your crew criticize me before, and I've gone like this. Well, damn, they might have a good point there. I didn't see it that way. Well, let me look at it. And then there are other things that are like, no, I'm not budging. I think I'm right and they're wrong. Which is why, by the way, I ain't just asked you to come on my show. I come on your show anytime you want me to, my brother. I ain't hiding. I'm here. But I think that the most important message that you're giving is that the Democratic Party has had the black vote for the most part since the 60s. And we've been so transparent in our support for the party that it's given them a license to take us for granted. And it's given the right a license to ignore us because they assumed they wouldn't get our vote anyway. Therefore, we're the ones without representation. And then we're wondering what the hell has happened. Now, Trump disoriented stuff a little bit because I think I never called him names and all that. My issue with him is how he behaves, because I think the presidency is a statesmanship position. And if you don't know how to act and you busy tweeting, going after Kathy Griffin and everybody else, something like that, as Cat Williams joked about one time, that's problematic for me, but that's it. And that's how I look at it. And anything else.
Honestly, I kind of took it as, all right, Trump ain't no bitch. That's how I took it as. I think, all right, he ain't gonna be no punching bag, because let's be real. Let's be real, though, and let's be human here. If you got a whole bunch of people coming at you online, calling you this and that like Trump did, I ain't gonna lie. I don't care what position I'm in. I'm gonna set the record straight. You just ain't about to talk down on my name just because I'm the president. Oh, you don't think I can get a Twitter too? Say less, man. It's on. I'd have been the same way. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like all of us would have kind of fell into that too. Like, what president has ever received that type of scrutiny online? Not one to where they have to actually go out there and talk to these celebrities like, hey, yo, you talking mighty reckless about me. You're a celebrity. What you mean you got a following? I'm going to set you straight. Like, I get it. So, and I get what Stephen A. Smith is saying, but let's play into a more human aspect here. Ain't no way you're just all going to come at me. I don't care if I'm president or not. I'm going to defend myself.
I'm like, listen, he'll get away with what you want him to get away with. Every president in office wants their policies, and you've got senators and congressional figures that are going to support you. They're going to sway you one way or another. Everything's open for negotiation, and that's the way that it should be. So I completely support where you're coming from in terms of keeping an open mind and listening, and I get where you're coming from. I'll give you the last word in this question.
I ain't gonna lie. The only reason it's like this. It's like the left can dish it, but they can't take it. And that's what Trump kind of proved, is that's all the left was doing. They was throwing all the punches and not expecting a punch back. Then when they get punched back, they crying and complain like, oh, that's not presidential. Like, and bro, what y'all doing wasn't very adult-like. It wasn't very mature of you just attacking the president, going on like these hysterical like Twitter rants. Like, what? Like, bro, let's question your maturity for a second here now.
As a black man in the United States of America, which